I'd like to give you some feedback. Bam! How many of you love those words? I'm here at South by Southwest getting ready to get on stage in about 10 minutes. We're going to be talking no ego, ditching the drama, and the power of self-reflection. Now, here's something you need to know about your brain. Your brain has a toggle switch. It's very similar to a 2-year-old in this one function. If I wanted to get this clicker away from a 2-year-old, what would be a bad strategy? To just grab it, right? You could drag a 2-year-old across the stage with a clicker, because the minute you grab it, it's all they have. And now, game on. What's a good way to get this clicker away from a 2-year-old? Yeah, distract them. Give them something else. Hey, do you want this placard with my name on it? When you do that, it's so confusing because they can't do 2 at once. To take the placard, they got to drop the clicker. If you really want to mess with them, you go, or you want the clicker back. They're like, no! They got to drop the placard. Now, this is important stuff because to get a clicker away from a 2-year-old, you don't just grab it. To move somebody out of ego, you don't just punch them in the face and ignite the ego. And yet most leadership traditions teach you how to do that. I'd like to give you some feedback. Bam! How many of you love those words? So the only way to get the clicker away is to give it something else. We call that the great ego bypass. Now, clicker and placard. Ego and self-reflection. Your brain can't do both at once. If you are venting in ego, you can't self-reflect. If you're self-reflecting, you can't vent. There's a toggle switch between your low self and your high self. Everybody follow that logic? Venting actually is the ego's way of avoiding self-reflection. Self-reflection is this form of personal curiosity that really brings so much happiness into your life because it leads to accountability and impact. It leads you away from venting. It's the toggle switch. It's absolutely miracle, and it's simple questions. What do I know for sure? What could I do next that would add value? What could I do to help? What would great look like? Whenever I find myself unhappy and disgusted with what's going on, a simple question can toggle switch me out of ego and venting into self-reflection. I can identify a way I can have impact. I get real honest, and the truth will set you free. That was such a blast. I can't believe it. My first presentation at South by Southwest is done. It was so well received, and I love that so many people came up afterwards and had great questions. That's probably my favorite part of any talk, is talking to fans afterwards. I seriously would say, as long as they want to answer questions, that's really when I find out how people are applying the information and what I've left them wondering and where the dialogue should go next.
Simple questions. So
Sure.
Thinking about managing up, right? And when the culture is that a group unites around venting about the board or the other, any tips on how to, I'm always the one that's like, well, what about their perspective? And people just get annoyed at me.
Yeah, so I wouldn't change it. But what people do when they come to me and they want to vent and they're like, I just tend to go, you know what? I'm just wondering what we could do to help. So even like, I have 6 brothers and sisters, and my sister will call me up. She's like, have you heard about our brother Michael? And he's doing all this stuff we shouldn't be doing. I'm like, oh my gosh, Michael, what should we be doing to help him? And I just keep going after what should we be doing to help. And a lot of times they're like, they don't want to help, but then it's their realization. I don't tell them. I'm like, here's where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna try and see if I can help. And I'd love for you to join me. I think there's some things we can do.
Just stay at that level.
I just stay there.
I like it.
It's like, where else to live?